Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, we can have much more Shabbat Shalominess than that. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That was fantastic. Well, Shabbat is here, and we have an awesome opportunity to celebrate. It's a time where we recognize that the gift of Shabbat is really allowing ourselves an opportunity to rest and reflect and to refresh our souls, to allow the outside world to be the outside world, and just to give ourselves a gift of being together, sharing our voices together in prayer, in worship, in learning, and opportunity of community. And I want to recognize that this morning we have people here who some of I know are preparing for your own bar and bat mitzvah. That's awesome. So you should be following along in our prayer books. There is a prayer book underneath your seats, right? And while we do have the words on the screen, what's great is that we also have a prayer book that you can follow along with. And if you ever get lost, don't worry. The page number is on the bottom right hand of the screen, and or turn the page, and that might be where we are, right? It's a good chance that we're going to be there, but for sure that the screen has the page numbers, and you can follow on the screen, but it's great to follow along in the book as well. Our Shabbat morning service this morning is going to be led by Shachar, and you'll see that all the things that Shachar is leading is really a communal effort, right? In other words, Shachar is going to be leading it, and we are going to be all participating. This is not, as you know, a performance. This is an opportunity to share in Shabbat. But the first thing that we do always is welcome one another into our congregation. And while we have a smaller number of people who are here this morning, I'm going to invite everyone to do two things. First, I'm going to ask everyone to please rise. Right? This is me practicing for what later. Okay, good. You knew the rise. I'm not going to ask you to sit down. Okay, great. Please, good job. Please rise. All right. Now, I'm going to ask for another thing, which is we're going to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are at home, who are in hospital rooms or in their own homes, who are watching from all over. And there's cameras in the back of the room. And I want you to turn. You'll see the cameras are up there. Turn around, and you'll see the little cameras, and say, we're going to say Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So glad to have you all here. Great, thank you. For all who are watching at home. Now, you're going to do this as well with each other, but you're going to take a minute to walk around. And what I'm going to ask is to say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are around in our sanctuary. And what I'm going to ask is that when you find your final seat, we're not going to play any music for the musical chairs right now, I promise, is that you all come, if you're sitting in the first 5 rows, you're good. But everyone else, come up, and let's we'll come up as well. So, are you ready? Move around, say Shabbat Shalom to the people who are to the north, the south, the east, and the west. Welcome one another into our congregation, and then come on up and feel close community.
I'm excited.
You excited?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Remember to project. You're good.
Okay. I saw those little things and I thought, I bet everyone can see that. All right. I just fixed your name. Okay.
Great. Come on up and come take a seat. And you'll have your prayer books, and I'm going to invite you to open up to page 196. Page 196. And you'll notice on page 196 are the words of a prayer called Elohai Neshama. In our worship in the mornings, we give thanks to God not only for their physical bodies, but for our souls. And Elohai Neshama is a part of those prayers that thank God, recognizing that we got up, and sometimes physically we get up in the morning, we're like, ooh, that we are up, thank goodness we are alive and our bodies are working, and that's fantastic. And then we thank God for our souls. And as Shakara is going to lead us in our worship, we're going to sing along in these words of Elohai Neshama.
Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenatata bi Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Ata Merata. Ata Netarta. Ata Nefachta. Nefachta. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenatata bi Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Me'ata, Meshamra. Me'ata, Meshamera. Me'ata, Meshamra. Meshamera Bekir. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenatata bi Tehorahi, Tehorahi. Later in the service, we will be praying Micha Mocha. The Micha Mocha is a prayer about freedom. The Israelites were trapped in between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's army. But then, God miraculously opened the sea and the Israelites crossed. They burst into dance and song. The Torah teaches us that they sang the very words of Micha Mocha. It must have felt good to finally be free and to not have people constantly watching and controlling them. They knew what freedom felt like and couldn't help themselves but to sing a song of joy and gratitude. That was back then. Today, there are still people in need of freedom. There are millions of people suffering every day because of corrupt and over-controlling governments. In America, sometimes we take freedom for granted. We think that some of the things that are happening in other countries could not happen to America. But in Micha Mocha, it teaches that freedom isn't something that just happens once. It is something that we must be always working towards so that other people can experience freedom too. Please rise for the Baruch. Lie, lie, yalla, lie, 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 lie, lie. Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, Oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, Hama'ir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha berachamim, Uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid, Ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam mechuch ma'asita, Mala ha'aretz kenyanecha, Tit barach Adonai Eloheinu, Al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, Ve'al me'orei or she'asita, Yifarucha sela, Or chadash al tiyon ta'ir, Ve'niskechu lani mehera la'oro, Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'orot. Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and light blinded we saw, that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries. Your light moving before us as we climbed, fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meyodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha b'derech, u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha, ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha. Lema'an tizkeru v'atitem ekol mitzvotai ve'etem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Slavery is not only a problem of the past. When we think of ourselves, we are slaves to selfishness. When we are hateful to others because of who they are, we are slaves to prejudice. When we crave what others have, we are slaves to greed. When we always have to be right or the winner, we are slaves to false pride. When we are afraid to speak out against something we know is wrong, we are slaves to fear. O God, help us to know true freedom.
Yehuda veYisrael. Go'aleinu Adonai Tzevaot Shemo. Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Le'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gavurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shem makdishim oto b'shmei maram, kakatuv al yad meveyecha, v'kara zel zeh ve'amar,
Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Melech ol haaretz, kevodo.
Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir, Shimcha b'chol haaretz.
Baruch kevod Adonai, Bimkomo.
Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'nei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem,
Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohayich Tzion, ledor vador. Hallelujah.
Ledor vador nagid God lecha, u'netach netachim kedushatcha nakdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush, le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el HaKadosh.
Shabbat.
Kulam yisbeu v'tangu mitivecha.
Shabbat. Yisnechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shabbat. Shabbat. Yisnechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shabbat.
V'hashvi'i ratita bo v'kidashto.
Shabbat.
Hamdat yamim oto karata.
Shabbat. Yisnechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shabbat. Shabbat. Yisnechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shabbat.
Zecher l'masei v'reishit.
Shabbat.
Zecher l'masei v'reishit.
Shabbat. Yisnechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shabbat. Shabbat. Yisnechu v'malachutecha. Shomrei, shomrei, shomrei. Shabbat v'korei oneg. Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. We now take a moment for silent prayer.
Each and every Shabbat morning, we take part in something that has happened for thousands of years. It's a worship service. And our worship itself always crescendos, always leads ourselves up to this experience of Torah. And it mimics the story of our people who, we're told, went to a place called Mount Sinai and who received the Torah and our teachings and our traditions as a gift, not just for the generations that lived in the desert, but for all future generations at Mount Sinai. And the ark that we have that's behind us is intended to be almost like a virtual Mount Sinai, where we reenact the taking of the Torah at Mount Sinai, and then the passing of that Torah, that gift, from generation to generation, lador vador, from one generation to the next, into our young people's arms. And the Torah isn't something that is supposed to be just, read and sort of kept in the ark. It's something that's supposed to be carried. It's supposed to be walked with. It's something that we're supposed to value in the ways in which we live our lives. And so each Saturday morning we reenact that giving of the Torah, that receiving of the Torah, the passing of the Torah from generation to generation, and of course the walking of the Torah in our lives. And so we're going to invite a lot of people up to help to do this. Shakar is going to stand right in front. He knows exactly where to go, right? We've practiced, all right? But also to join him is his parents, Melita and Lorenzo. If you will come forward. And then Ella G, if you will come forward, and Laverne G, if you'll come forward. Thelma Peterson, Carolina Peterson, Quandera Thomas, and Ryan Thomas. And here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to have you guys, we're going to rearrange just a little. All right. Shakar, if you'll go to the end right over here. Melita, if you'll stand next to him. All right. Lorenzo next to him. All right, good. Yeah, exactly. We practiced. Melita had it right. We practiced. All right, perfect. You're standing up perfectly. You're all in a perfect place. All right. And I'm going to invite everyone else in the congregation to please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Adonai mirushalayim. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udvar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael. Baruch shenatan Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Okay, Shakar, I want you to take a big step. Actually, come off the bima for 1 second. Oh, that's a big step. That was a big step. I'm glad that better you than me. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Take a moment, and I want you to turn around and face your family. Okay? And this is awesome. How amazing it is to have your family here before you, the generations of your family, right? And so make sure to take a moment to look each one of them in the eye, okay? So proud of you to give you this gift, to be a part of teaching you the values that you love and that you cherish, that you hold on to, the values and the teachings of our tradition that you have carried forth into the world. And so it is our pleasure. I'm going to invite you to stand back next to your mom. You can take more than one step this time. All right, perfect. And backwards at that, right? And to receive this gift as a gift, receive this tradition as a gift to you, not just for yourself, but for the future as well. You'll just touch the Torah. You'll just touch the Torah, exactly. Thank you. You'll touch the Torah.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonai, Kadosh Shemo. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho.
Parashat Shoftim from the book of Deuteronomy is an important Torah portion that guides us in creating a just society. It offers insights into accountability, fairness, and the pursuit of justice. To understand more, you have to go back in time to when the Israelites were about to enter the Promised Land. Encamped on the plateau of Moab, in what is today the country of Jordan, across the valley from the city of Jericho. During this crucial period, Moses was aware that he would not be entering the Promised Land. He delivered powerful speeches to the Israelites. He shared divine laws and regulations that would shape their society and ensure fairness. These teachings emphasized the appointment of judges and the need for proper justice, including the requirement of 2 witnesses for capital punishment and the prohibition of idol worship. Judaism places great value on the pursuit of justice and righteousness. The Torah itself, alongside rabbinic teachings, provides guidance on how to establish a just society. One such teaching is found in Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 20, which states, Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. This verse serves as a moral compass, urging individuals to actively seek justice in their lives and within society. In addition to these teachings, Jewish tradition recognizes the importance of accountable leadership and the role of judges in upholding justice. The Talmud, a significant collection of Jewish teachings, delves into the qualifications and responsibilities of judges, emphasizing the necessity of ethical leaders who act with integrity. Parashat Shoftim also teaches us about accountability and the importance of consequences for wrongdoing. It highlights that a just society is one where individuals face the appropriate consequences for their actions and are rewarded for their deeds. These principles extend beyond the legal system, reminding us that justice should be in all aspects of life. However, we must acknowledge that our society sometimes falls short of these ideals. There are instances where individuals who engage in wrongdoing seem to evade accountability or even receive positive recognition. This challenges us to reflect on our systems and take action to make a more just society. We shouldn't have a society where people benefit from wrongdoing. As I chant the Torah this morning, I hope we can consider using the Torah as a guidepost for building a more just and equitable society. It calls us to examine our legal systems, advocate for accountability, and support leaders who prioritize in fairness and honesty. In conclusion, Parashat Shoftim offers profound teachings on creating a just society. It urges us to pursue justice, uphold accountability, and work towards a world where fairness and righteousness prevail. Let us draw upon these teachings and our rich heritage to shape our actions, promote justice, and make a positive impact on our communities and the wider world. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. For the first aliyah, I'd like to invite forward. Is that all right? Yeah. Great. For the first aliyah, I'd like to invite forward your brothers, Shimon and Shane, and Sean. Sean, you're accompanying. Come on up. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Ki tavo el haaretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach virishta ve'yashavta ba ve'amarta asima alai melech kechol hagoyim asher sevivotai som tasim alecha melech asher yivchar Adonai Elohecha bo mikerev achecha tasim alecha melech lo tuchol lateit alecha ish nochri asher lo achicha hu rak lo yarbelo susim velo yashiv et ha'am mitzrayma Leman harbotus Vadonai amar lachem lo tosifun lashuv baderech hazeh
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torat Emet V'chayei Olam Nata B'tochenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. And we all say Yesher. Say Yesher. Say Koach. We put that together. Say Yesher Koach. In North Carolina, we say keep on pounding, or keep pounding, right? I think is what we say, for keeping up the strength, for honoring Torah, for honoring Shabbat, for honoring our community, for being awesome learners in our community and teachers in our community, and for being both a big and younger brother to your brother here. I'm going to let you guys either give him a hug or a fist bump or a high five, whatever you want to do. So come on over and come give him a big hug as well. You should see ours. It's amazing. All right. I'm going to invite forward your parents. Melita and Lorenzo, if you will come forward for the second aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Atah Adonai.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam
Ba'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Esher bakar banu mekol hayamim, Vanatan latanu Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, Notei HaTorah.
Velo yarbelo nashim, velo yasur levavo, vechesef v'zahav lo yarbelo me'od. V'haya chishivto v'karava al kisei mamlachto, v'chatavlo et mishnei haTorah hazot al sefer milifnei hakohanim halavim, v'hayeta imo v'karavo kol yemei chayav lema'an yilmad diriyah et Adonai Elohav lishmor et kol divrei haTorah hazot v'tachukim ha'ele le'asotam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torah damet, v'hayi olam nata ba'otenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Notei HaTorah.
Amen. And we say Yesher Koach for raising great kids, for honoring Shabbat and Torah in our community. I want you to keep up the strength and also come over and give him a big hug. And come join your boys over here.
Ya'amod, 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 Shachar Shalom ben Malka, Bar HaMitzvah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach,
Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol ha'abim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Livilti rum levavo me'achav, uvilti sur min hamitzvah, yamin usmol, lema'an ya'arich yamim al mamlachto, hu uvanav bekerev Yisrael, lo yihyeh lakohanim haLeviyim, kol shevet Levi, chelek v'nachala im Yisrael, ishei Adonai, v'nachalato yochelun, v'nachala lo yihyeh lo bekerev echav, Adonai hu nachalato ka'asher diber lo. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen. And we say aloud, Yesher Koach. Yesher Koach for honoring the Torah and for honoring Shabbat by leading us in worship today and teaching us Torah and the words and the teaching that you have derived from the Torah portion. Keep up the strength. What an incredible job. And I know that it's possible that your family has more hugs and or handshakes to give you. All right, so go ahead and get some right now. Is that okay? Go for it. As we have the Torah out, we think of all who are in our community who are in need of healing. healing of mind and body and spirit and soul. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. And the names of the people in our community are on the screen now who we're thinking of. And we think of them and we recognize that the prayer of the Mishaberach is a prayer that doesn't just ask God for healing, but also is a reminder to ourselves that healing comes about through our own actions, through the ways in which we show up, the ways that we make phone calls or go to the hospital or check in on our loved ones. And so each and every week when we sing this song, it is, yes, we're asking God for healing and wholeness, but even more so, it's a mirror to us to remind ourselves about our own responsibilities and ways in which we help those who are in need. And so what we also do each and every week is invite people to share names of people that you're thinking about, people that you want to pray for, people that you're going to call maybe after services and connect with as well. And so I invite you to share those names out loud or even silently in your own heart as we add your names to the names of our community and pray for those who are in need of healing. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim, blessed are you, O God, who supports and comforts those who are in need.
The ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I invite forward Josiah Thomas and Quincy Thomas to help open the Ark and to address the Torah. Invite forward Sean Peterson. Sean, if you will come up. Yeah, I got it. It's over there. And I ask the congregation to please rise.
Bezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai.
Thank you, guys. All right, sorry. All right, good job. Sean, thank you. Oh. All right. See. This morning, we are continuing with the words of Haftarah. Haftarah is an additional reading of text that we read on Saturday mornings that comes from the book of prophets. The Haftarah is connected usually to the Torah portion or to the season of year that we're in. And the reason why we read a Haftarah is because there was a time and there was a period in our Jewish tradition in which Jews were not allowed to read from the Torah. And so our rabbis actually came with a creative way, and they looked at the books of prophets, and they saw that sometimes that there were themes that were consistent from the books of prophets into the values of the Torah, and they connected different readings from the books of prophets to the readings of the Torah so that we would sort of thematically stay on the same theme even when we were prohibited from reading the Torah. But it turns out that this week we are not just reading a Haftarah that is connected to the Torah portion. We are actually reading a Haftarah that comes at a special time of year. And the special time of year is that after Tisha B'Av, after the 9th of Av, after the 9th of Av, when we observe the commemoration of the destruction of the holy temples, the first and second temple, and many other calamities that faced our people on the 9th of Av, we then have what's called 7 weeks of consolation, 7 weeks of readings that sort of lead us towards the high holy days. So in other words, there's a moment of destruction and pain that we experience as a people, a Memorial Day that happens in the summertime, and then 7 weeks later we sort of rebuild ourselves up towards Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, rebuild ourselves up to this holy season of reflection and renewal, where we sort of think about our lives from a place of destruction towards renewal. And so this Haftarah that comes from the book of Isaiah is actually here as a reminder of the moments of consolation that we have. And so you're going to hear the blessing of the Haftarah blessing, and then the reading of the Haftarah as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'neviim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hana'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Uri lishi uzeich Tzion lishi bigdei tifarteich Yerushalayim ir hakodesh ki lo yosif yavovach od arel v'tamei hitna ari me'afar kumishvi Yerushalayim hitpatchi mosrei tzavarech shviya batzion kicho amar Adonai chinam nimkartem velo v'chesef tigaelu ki cho amar Adonai Elohim Mitzrayim Yarad imo varishona lagor sham va'ashur be'efesh ashako. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber imkayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al HaTorah, Ve'al Havodah, Ve'al Hanviim, Ve'al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh, Shenatata Lanu, Ananai Eloheinu, Liktusha V'limnucha, Lechavod Ultifaret. Al HaKol, Adonai Eloheinu, Anachnu Modim Lach, Umevarchim Otach, Yitbarach Shimcha, Befi Kol Chai, Tamid Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Ata Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
On a day like today, I would like to thank God, because it is important to remember that we are here because of God. I want to thank all my madrachim, tutors, and clergy for helping me along the way. Y'all have been a big help. Rabbi Knight, thank you for helping me with my speeches and giving me new insights about my Torah portion. Cantor Roskin, thank you for your help to make learning chant Torah fun and showing me new tricks and methods to make learning easier. Cantor Mary, thank you for helping me learn how to pronounce Hebrew, which has helped me to learn my Torah and prayers. I want to thank all my friends for coming today and for helping me to have new perspectives on what we're learning in class. And to all my cousins, it will take all day to express how much you mean to me and the wonderful things that you do for me. Much love and appreciation to my grandparents, Grandma and Grandpa Peterson. Thank you for helping us when we come over. You always make delicious food, and you do all the dishes that we create. How you work together is amazing. I appreciate all the gifts and cards you send us. Auntie Mika, thank you for visiting and taking the time to look at our art, read our new books, and checking out my new paper airplane innovations. Grandma and Grandpa G, I am blessed to be part of such a large, gifted, and talented family, a family of artists and entrepreneurs. I learn a lot from you. Grandpa G, you are a man of many skills, and I hope to learn more from you. Grandma G, you are an amazing cosmetologist and caterer. Thank you for helping me make the food for my dinner party. Auntie Pam, thank you for baking vegan treats for us when we come over, and being my photographer for today and designing the invitations. Auntie Kwan, thank you for doing my hair, and Uncle Ryan, your mac and cheese is the bomb. Thank you for hosting my dinner today. Auntie Deja and Divya, thank you for being my aunties and for your support along the way. Uncle Shorty and Auntie Capricia, y'all are the best godparents, and I enjoy when y'all come over. Next, I would like to thank my brothers. Shimon, I'm always impressed with your hard work and diligence. You take such good care of us. I'm looking forward to you becoming a pilot and riding on your plane. Your knowledge about planes is mind-blowing. Shane, you are an amazing cook, and your ice cream and pancakes are the absolute best. I like talking about the Torah, math, and cars with you, and I'm always amazed at your knowledge of racing and your karting abilities. I enjoy talking about business plans and doing skateboard races. Sean, you know so much about British history and the Bible. I always enjoy reading the books that you write. I'm impressed by all the facts you know, and I hope that you continue to share your gift of singing with the world. And finally, Mom and Dad. Dad, thanks for all the one-on-one times that you spend with each of us. I love going to the park, buying toys, and hanging out with you. We appreciate all you do and take none of it for granted. Mom, thank you for teaching us to be responsible and to persevere. You have such great commitment to raising us and teaching us about the Torah. Even if we make mistakes, thank you for being patient with us while we're still learning. Thank you for also teaching us about good morals and good values. You have great insights, and you're always so great about sharing your knowledge with us and helping me to become the person I am today. I love you, Mom and Dad. Please join me on the Bima.
This is my second go round. I'm going to try not to cry this time. Shakar, I'm grateful to God for allowing me to see his power in your life. It's been very evident. And I remember when you were born 2 months early, I always joke around that you couldn't wait to see us. I reflect on how the doctors didn't say anything when you were born. You didn't make a sound when you arrived. That was the hardest I ever prayed up to that point in my life. I almost fainted. I was praying so hard. To experience your tiny body fitting in the palm of my hand at 3 pounds in the NICU to the young man you are blossoming into today, I'm grateful. Remember, just like I tell your brothers, your name is the only thing that you truly own. So always protect your character and your integrity at all costs. It is not only a reflection of your family, but also a reflection of God, whom you represent really good. I'm proud of you. I thank you, God, that Shakar has favor with you and with mankind. May the work of his hands be blessed and grant him godly wisdom to make good decisions. You are his source, and he will live for you all the days of his life. He is blessed to be a blessing. And Father, right now, I just say that my ceiling will be his floor, that he will continue to be a blessing to many.
Shakar, Shalom Peterson, your name says it all. Its meaning is full of purpose. It tells your history, your present development, and your future blessings. We named you Shakar because it means grateful. It was the best word we could use to express how thankful we were that you were okay at birth. Your name gave us comfort during the long days of the NICU, and your middle name, which you share with your brothers, Shalom, is loaded with blessings of peace, well-being, and prosperity. The doctors were impressed that even being early, that you were able to breathe completely on your own, and they said that if you played any sports, you wouldn't have any problems with your lungs. Who knew that that would be one of your main passions? We're grateful, Shakar, for the dream that your auntie had, which none of us knew what it meant at the time of your early arrival, but that everything would be okay. We're grateful for God allowing us to reach this season. I'm grateful today as I was the day that you were born, and every day. You know your story, and you know the influence that the principles that you just read from in the Torah has had upon our lives. So remember, as it says in Joshua, meditate on it day and night, observe to do, and you will make your way prosperous and have good success. In conclusion, if during a time of challenge, a song escapes your memory, or a quote or a scripture does not come to mind, remember your name. Shakar, grateful, Shalom, peace. Be Shakar, Shalom. Grateful for God's peace, prosperity, and health. Mazel tov.
Invite everyone to please rise. Come with me. Come over here. Shakar. Come right up here. Parents coming over behind. Come put your hands right on that. Perfect. Shakar, your Torah portion is beautiful. It's one of my favorites. Today, a Torah study, I brought in 14 pages of texts, and you know what everyone told me today? They said, Rabbi, that's there's no way we're going to get through it, and that's true because I love your Torah portion so much. I was so excited. I was overly optimistic about how much Torah we could get through. We got through about 4 pages, right? But one of the things I love about your Torah portion is actually connected to the idea that about this justice that we should pursue, right? Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, which you mentioned in your Devar Torah. Justice, justice shall you pursue. And that the justice that we shall pursue, right, it means that we have to create a fair society. But one of the things that you and I spoke about that I appreciated so much about what you talked about is that it wasn't just about the just society that we should have fairness and equality, and that we should have a society that creates opportunity for all. But it was also the recognition that the justice that we have to pursue has to be pursued justly, right? That the justice that we have is about the way in which we create a society, the ways in which we live, the ways in which we help our society to be more fair, more kind, more just, right? And that our tradition teaches us that it begins not with the big society, but it begins with each one of us, with our hearts, with the work that we have to do. And one of the things that anyone at Temple who knows you is that your heart is a just heart, right? And my prayer for you is that you continue to live with an open heart, that you continue to live with a sense of kindness and love and compassion, which any of us who've ever worked with you know is at the core of who you are, right? And my prayer for you is that you recognize that the tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, the justice that you shall pursue, is that you constantly, always remind yourself in your actions, daily, in and out, that you sort of ask yourself, is this a just moment? Am I being kind? Am I being fair? Am I being compassionate? Because I know that you will be. And then that you ask yourself, how can I take the kindness and compassion that we have and start to spread it out to my family, to my community, and to the world, right? Justice shall you pursue. Yes, justice writ large for our whole society and all the world. And yes, the recognition that justice begins with the openings of our heart and the ways that we live with the values that are at the center of the Torah. And so it is with great honor that we as a community bless you with the values at the center of the Torah, this blessing which is so ancient, so old that when I was in the Jerusalem Museum most recently, I saw an amulet with it, and it was written on this prayer that we're about to recite was written on that amulet, and they've dated it to 3,500 years ago. It's one of the oldest prayers that we have. And our congregation, where we're going to respond to each stanza after I translate, we're going to respond with the words, Ken Yehi Ratzon. We're going to practice that. Everyone say, Ken Yehi Ratzon. Together say, Ken Yehi Ratzon. And that means, may this be God's will. And after each stanza, we were, as a community, all participate in this act of prayer, a prayer that was given by the priests to the people, by parents to their children, and most appropriately, that your parents are behind you with their hands on your shoulders as we as a congregation give you this prayer.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom, shalom.
May God be with you as you bring your open heart and love and compassion to the world, and may God bless you with the most important blessings of the world, the blessing of shalom, of peace, and of shlemut, of wholeness. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will, And let us all say, Amen. We're going to continue standing exactly where we are with the words of Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, Lateit Gedula liotzer Breshit,
Shelo asanu
כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים
ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר בהיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Please be seated. At this time, we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts as our own. And our congregations are accustomed to stand as the name of your loved one is read. We're in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days after the deaths of Juana Benitez, Jeffrey Cooper, Terry Bradley, Ellen Lipson, Paula Musler, and Albert Soferenko. We mark with sympathy and sadness the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Peggy Nathan Abrams, Harry Allweiss, Harriet Atlas, Martin Beal, Alice Berkelhammer, William Bernard, Helmut Brandt, Sophie Cohen, Ruth Cooper, Elsie Korn, Anna DiLapido, Herbie Dworkin, Natan Feldman, Barry Fernbach, Edward Festinger, George Foster, Miriam Weingarten Friedman, William Gitlin, Richard Stanley Glasser, Leslie Gordon, Donald Gottheim, Edith Green, Harry Greenberg, Rosalind Gressler, Jose Guillermo Guadarrama, Clara Hickman, Lily R. Hendrickson, Edwin Holzberg, Isaac Jacobowitz, Henry T. Jacobson, Edwin L. Kahn, Louis Kirshner, Maurice Krauss, Mary Ann Silverman Lamb, Herman Levine, Philip Levine, Jeannie Levy, Harriet Mandel, Max Mandel, Alan Mason, Zane Messinger, Elizabeth Lib Miles, Helen Multer, Ralph Neufeld, Dorothy Nathan Pilevsky, David Paskoff, David Pychart, Louis I. Pesikoff, Goldie R. Phillips, Susan E. Popper, Max Putterman, John Kennerly Rowe, Sigrid Stewart Shatvet, Sally Schindler, Alan Schneiderman, Larry M. Schwartz, Paula A. Schwartz, Paul A. Schwartz, Joe Shallant, Gerald Cinco, Adele Solo, Ida Solo, Yusuf Sued, Marusha El Sued, Goldie Steinberg, Jeanette Strauss, Edith Suckman, J. Sandra Talker, and Scott Turner. Remember as well all who died in the Shoah and the Holocaust, our American servicemen and women and the first responders who have given their lives for our freedoms and safety, and those who have died defending the state of Israel. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. As we rise as one congregational family, turn to page 598 with the words of Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shmei rabbah, ve'alma divrach ute ve'amlich malchute, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen.
Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olamei Olmaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh.
V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Dekudshah B'richu. Le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata. Tishbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi Shalom Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen. Ose shalom bimromav, huya ase shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen.
I'm going to invite the Peterson family to come forward and to come up here for Kiddushin Hamotzi. As they do, we give thanks to God in this moment. Special moments like this, we give thanks to God not only for giving us life, but helping to sustain our lives, to help us to reach joyous occasions like this with the words of Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiman vehigianu lazman hazeh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim. And we'll say Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. You gotta take a piece. You gotta definitely have to take a bite for sure. Go for it. You need the end, the very end. Just one, a little bite.
Oh, yeah, he probably.
Okay, fine.
But it's for guests.
Okay, for guests. So anyone who wants, please come up. In the meantime, we say Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov. Shabbat Shalom, man. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.